EFF leader Julius Malema has led a march to the local police station in Coligny. The party was joined by community members to march against the bail granted to the two men accused of murdering a local teenager. Residents who've been complaining about racism have joined the march, this following the death of the 16-year-old Coligny teen, allegedly at the hands of two white men, which led to violent protests in that area. Let's get more now on what happened at the march today. We cross to our reporter Nicoline Smelman. She's in Coligny. Nicoline, good afternoon to you. From the pictures we saw coming through, quite a big turnout there today, and they've handed over a memorandum.
Good afternoon, Natasha. That is correct, yes. In fact, it was expected that the march would be led by the national leader of the EFF, Mr. Julius Malema. Unfortunately, he was not available to do so. The EFF supporters embarked on the march from Coligny Township to the police station here in Coligny, where they handed over the memorandum. We are joined here by the chairperson for the EFF in Northwest, Ms. Betty Diale, who will explain to us the reasons for the march and also the content of the memorandum. Ms. Diale, if you could please elaborate on the reasons for the march you embarked on today.
Thank you very much. Let me welcome the viewers. Let me indicate that the reason for the march is on the basis of our engagements with the community. We made meetings with community, held several meetings with them, wherein we established what their issues are. Among others, there were many issues raised in respect of racism that prevails here in Coligny. Now, our march to the police station was to demand to the police to make sure that they investigate all cases of racism. That's part of what we put in the memorandum. For the police to investigate all cases of racism that have been lodged with them that are either not at court or that were withdrawn at court. Now, we gave them 7 days to do so. Within 7 days, we will be engaging with the police to ensure that we list and outline all the cases that are involved. Now, mainly, despite the racism that is here, we want to make sure that the police investigate properly issues of crime that are affecting our communities within Coligny area, Tlhabologong and Scotland Squatter Camp. We have noticed that the cases that are opened by white people in the police station are properly investigated and finalized. But those cases that are opened by black people against white people are not properly investigated. The police are relaxing when they're supposed to investigate those cases. We want to make sure that people of Coligny are treated equally, irrespective of their color. We note that the people of Coligny, we have actually encouraged them to remember that they are not inferior to white people. They must always fight for their rights. Part of what we put in the memorandum is to ensure that we wanted the NPA actually to receive another memorandum to ensure that they lodge an appeal against the decision to grant bail to those accused people in the Matomola Museu case. We want to make sure there's justice in this case. We reiterate as the economic freedom fighters that there can't be reconciliation unless there is justice. We welcome white people who are free or who are willing to reconcile with black people, to remember that they are equal to black people who are within their communities. But we want to isolate those white racists who don't want to reconcile with their communities, who always want to feel superior to our own people. We want to make sure that such white people are isolated, and people of Coligny do that for themselves, to ensure that they fight for their rights at all the time, to make sure that their cases, when they open them in the police station, they follow them up and make sure that their perpetrators of such crimes are prosecuted. We will have to make sure that all crimes are treated equally in terms of their seriousness as well. We want to make sure that people of Coligny know their rights. People of Coligny must know that they are protected by the Constitution as much as white people are protected by the Constitution. Now, part of our complaints as well was that the police must stop taking bribes. It would appear that when certain cases are to be investigated, because of the pockets of people who are perpetrators of crime, they give them money, they stop investigating their cases. Now, we want to make sure that all crimes are treated to the degree of their seriousness, to make sure that people of Coligny understand their rights. People of Coligny are treated equally.
Ms. Diale, you actually also requested the National Prosecuting Authority to be here to accept the memorandum, but they did not show up. What was the reasons for this?
Indeed, we did request the National Prosecution Authority to come and receive the memorandum. They literally refused to indicate that they are not available to do that. We are not giving up as the economic freedom fighters. We will make sure that we lead the community to come to the court in Coligny to hand over a memorandum. We will reschedule and have another day. We'll make sure that they receive a memorandum, because most of the cases end up in court. They are either withdrawn because there's no proper justice given to such cases. We want to make sure that there's justice all over. We want to make sure that the police, the NPA, make sure that the case, when they bring them to court, the police do their work, they investigate, NPA prosecute properly, bring proper evidence before court so that the assessments of evidence within court can be done properly.
Thank you so much. That was Ms. Betty Diale, the chairperson for the EFF in Northwest. Back to you in the studio, Natasha.
Nicoline, thanks so much. Nicoline Smalman live from Coligny.